Hip-hop since 1987.com.
Terrell Thomas, we're live right now, and we're in a different setting, Georgia State University, as we're getting ready for the 2018 WNBA season. The Atlanta Dream are looking to make a lot of noise this season, and I'm with a young lady. Soon, I'm going to just throw this out there. I think it's going to be an MVP season, Angel. I think it's going to be an MVP season. She's been doing her thing for some time. WNBA All-Star, USA gold medal winner, Angel McCoughtry, back here in a WNBA uniform with the Atlanta Dream. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, you know. I'm glad to be back. It's definitely a new environment, but I'm glad to be back on the court. So, you know, in the city of Atlanta has always been great to play in front of my family and friends. So I'm glad to be back.
Now, as you just mentioned, it's certainly a new environment. You have a new head coach. For the past few years, Coach Cooper has been doing his thing, leading the dream, but now you have a new head coach. Talk to me a little bit about her, what you expect to learn from her this season, in the direction in which she's taking you, ladies.
I love her. You know, I think she's very encouraging to us. She's a player herself. She played at Marquette University. She knows what it takes. You know, she's been there, done that, and she can relate to us as a woman. You know, I think that the one thing I admire about her is, you know, I tell a lot of people when I was overseas, she checked on me all the time, and I wasn't used to that, having that communication factor, you know, with my coach. So that meant a lot to me. It goes to show you that she doesn't care about me just scoring 30 points on the floor. She cares about me as a person off the court, and I think that's very important. You know, especially winning championships, you have to have that chemistry, not just on the court, but when you know people care and have your back off the court, that's really important.
Now, as you just mentioned, you've always played WNBA and overseas, but the past season you took a year off from the WNBA. You were just overseas. Talk to me about that experience, and do you feel like this go round, I don't want to call it your comeback season, but it is slightly a comeback season. Do you feel like coming back to the WNBA this time will be more valuable, or that you have a different hunger than you did before?
I think everything's more valuable. That year off was a learning experience year for me. I got to clear a lot of things out of my life. I got to experience what it was to just be a regular person off the court. So I got to see a lot. You know, things sometimes athletes don't see because we're always playing, we're always busy. So, you know, just that dynamic, it made me miss the game too, come back with a different atmosphere. Like I tell people, it's my first year back in my 30s. I didn't play in the WNBA in my 30s, so definitely have a lot more experience. I'm a little older, and it's a different dynamic. Definitely teaching the young ones and them looking up to you, wanting guidance. That's a good feeling.
Now, as you just mentioned, there are a few new members on the roster, a few young players on the roster. Of course, Elizabeth Williams, we've been seeing her grow. We'll get to see Brittany Sykes in another season grow, a young lady who I arguably think could have been the Rookie of the Year last year. What type of leadership do you expect to bring to them, and what type of performances do you want to see from them on the court this season?
They just got to keep doing what they've been doing. I think last year, you know, we just needed that leader to kind of take us over the hump. They had everything they needed, all the pieces. They just needed that leader, and I consider myself that leader to kind of bring them home. Like I said, I don't have to take the last shot to win the game. We have all the pieces to do that, but I want to be able to lead them and give them the confidence they need to finish out the games.
Now, you'll be back on the floor with a young lady who is also done things as far as an all-star in this league, or has all-star performance-like game in this league, and Miss Tiffany Hayes. Talk to me about what it'll mean to be back on the floor with Tiffany.
Oh, man. Tiff is amazing. I think she's one of the best players I ever played with. Just her tenacity, the things she can do. Sometimes she's so good, you can just kind of sitting there watching like, wow, you know, that's how good she is. But I'm glad to be back on the floor with her. I can't wait to see some of the amazing things she's about to do, to see some of the things she's going to accomplish.
Now, this is the WNBA's first season with Nike. You see the new, we were watching some of your ladies practice today, new apparel, Nike apparel. Talk to me about how it feels to be rocking Nike this year in the WNBA and the year Atlanta Dream apparel.
I think it's all good. I think, you know, I've been with Nike for many, many years. I just recently crossed over to the Adidas family.
Okay.
But I have much respect for Nike. In the many years I was there with them, I respect Eileen and everything she does for the girls. So it's definitely good to see them take on the WNBA. But, you know, sometimes you just got to, you know, have a new, fresh start. Like I said, everything's fresh and new. So I'm with Adidas now, as you can see. But I respect all the brands, you know, no matter what. And I'm excited to be with the Adidas family and see some of the things we're going to do together.
Rocking the 3 stripes now, that's very dope. I was wondering when I saw you in the Hardens. So will we see you in the Hardens most of the season? Or are you going to take it back and bring out the crazy 8 Kobe's? What can we anticipate seeing you wearing this season?
See me in my Adidas. I'm gonna have some Hardens. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I might have some, Damian Lillard's. We'll mix it up a little bit and see what we got.
Now, many may not know, but you were a standout college athlete at the University of Louisville. Also, on the football side of things, they recently had a standout player by the name of Lamar Jackson, won the Heisman Trophy, almost won it 2 times. You're a native of Baltimore, and this year your Baltimore Ravens moved up in the draft to make him their first-round selection. So in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll be seeing Lamar Jackson as the starting quarterback for your Baltimore Ravens. Talk to me about Lamar Jackson and what he can expect when he'll be going to play in Baltimore. I know the fans in Baltimore are really they love their team.
We love our team. We were ride or die for our team. And I think, when he came to Louisville, he brought a new excitement. The football program had went down a little bit. I know that we're such a football kind of city and kind of town. We're a true college football town. So when the team went down a little bit, we were a little, devastated. But he came. We got some new coaches, changed some things around. And he's the talk of the town, let me tell you. And he's brought that excitement back that we're used to. They put more seats in the stadium now, so we're back to where we need to be in Louisville football. So I can't wait to watch him in Baltimore. I'm going to definitely come to some of his games.
I got to ask you this before we get ready to wrap up and let you go. We're currently in the midst of the 2018 NBA playoffs. I know you have a lot of friends that are on the remaining 4 teams, the Houston Rockets, rocking the James Hardens, the Golden State Warriors, LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and also the Boston Celtics. Who do you see moving on to the NBA Finals? And if you had to crown a winner, who would it be?
I have Boston. And this was before the game yesterday. I kept telling people I have Boston and Houston. Don't hate me, but in between Boston and Houston, that's a tough one. I want Chris Paul to get a ring, though.
Okay.
So I might go with Houston just so he can get his.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Golden State has theirs. LeBron has his. Kyrie has his. And I know some of the Boston teammates, they don't have theirs, but I would love to see Boston and Houston. Let's take it there, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Okay. 2018 season is right upon us. What are some personal goals that you have for yourself as you get back here on the hardwood?
Just to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy this experience. I know, I don't have many years in this left. I just want to enjoy the experience no matter what happens, Of course, we want to make it to the playoffs. I want to win a WNBA championship. I think that's like one of the last things on my bucket list in my basketball career. I have Olympic gold medals. I've won, so many awards in this game. So if I could check that off my bucket list, that'd be great.
Terrell Thomas, we're live right here with Miss Angel McCoughtry. If you're in the Atlanta area or if you're just floating the nation, make sure you check out the Atlanta Dream schedule. Come check them out down at Georgia Tech if you're here in Atlanta. And if not, check them out as they're roaming throughout the nation this year during the 2018 WNBA season.
Hip Hop since 1987.com.